And here we go. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Levi Clay, and this evening we are going to be transcribing the incredible, the one and only Mr. Andre Nieri. Now, I I totally get that there will be a lot of people that are tuning into this stream completely unaware of who Andre Nieri is. And I don't think it's an understatement to say that Andre Nieri is one of the most underrated players of the last decade, um, in this kind of internet guitar scene, if you like, if we call it that, and all of the names that you've seen spawn out of that online guitar scene type thing. There are so many names that you think of when you think of guitar in a post kind of, let's call it the post Jam Track Central world. Let's go with that. Let's a YouTube world, if you like. There are so many names that you think of. We think of big players like Guthrie Govan, or you think of the successes of guys like Tom Quayle, and you would think of Martin Miller, and you would think of Rick Graham. You think of these names, and over the past few years, you are noticing kind of a new influx of young players with names that you are going to be hearing a lot over the coming years. You've got the likes of Matteo Mancuso, who's just an incredible player. You've got, right now, I'm seeing a lot of Max Ostro being posted everywhere. Great player. Andre Nieri, I think, for me personally, and you'll see this when we check out some of his playing. For me, Andre just kind of shits on all of those guys. Not in a negative way. I'm not saying anything ill about any of the other guys. I'm just talking about playing that I enjoy, and I absolutely love the way Andre Nieri plays. He's an incredible player. He is a Brazilian gentleman. Lovely guy. I got to know him several years ago when he entered Guitar Idol 3. I was kind of the organizer of that, and although I wasn't a judge, I kind of knew as soon as I saw his video entry, this guy is probably going to win this competition, and he absolutely did, because he was just a world above everybody else in terms of his playing ability. So from there, he's gone on to be the guitar player in Virgil Donati's band, and his YouTube channel is well worth checking out. The only downside is while he does provide a lot of great educational content, being a Brazilian native, he caters largely to an audience of non-native English speakers. So it's kind of like the Kiko Loureiro thing, where Kiko tends to do material in both Portuguese and in English. Now, I think it's great, obviously, that Andre is catering to a slightly different audience. But, of course, I think that's probably the reason why, if you are unfamiliar with him, that'll be why. Because not being... his English is fantastic. Let me be clear on that. All I'm saying, go and check him out. He is an outrageously talented guitar player. And I think the unsung hero of the generation. I'm really going with that. I did the live stream recently doing the Matteo Mancuso stuff. He's an incredible player, and I love his lines. But the way he plays impresses me, but it doesn't speak to me quite the same way that Andre speaks to me. So what I'm going to do, I've got two transcriptions, probably won't get through them both, will I? Two videos of Andre's that we're going to be looking at today. You are going to have some fun with them. You are going to learn some incredible playing. And I'm going to try and analyse as much as possible, talk about what it is that he's doing. But of course, I can't teach you to play like Andre quite like Andre can teach you to play like Andre. So head on over to his YouTube channel, head on over to his Facebook page, let him know that I sent you, and check out his products. He has transcriptions available on his website. There are tons of things out there that you can buy that will get you in the ballpark to play a little bit more like Andre Nieri. So, there's that. Right, cool. Let's take a look. Ted C says, very underrated. As far as I know, not rated at all yet. Pretty underrated, yeah. So, it's a strange one to me, because it's this weird kind of like guitar player ego thing, right? Where does it really matter if somebody gets the credit that they deserve? Because Andre, so he won some competitions, and then he's endorsed by Sir Guitars and Bogner Amplification. He has toured the world with Virgil Donati. You know, he's doing things. He's fine. He's doing all right. You know, it's very much a guitar player mentality to feel that someone deserves that accolade. When I talk about being underrated, I guess I'm talking from the perspective of the guitar community as a whole. We tend to have the spotlight shone on certain people who are popular, you know, who people are talking about. And then you see more of that person. And so I'm not saying that Andre needs the attention, because he absolutely doesn't. His career's doing absolutely fine. It's more for you guys. It's more for you watching the stream now. I think it's a shame that the spotlight hasn't been put on him, and maybe you haven't seen his playing before. So if you haven't seen his playing before, we're about to check some of it out. But of course, before I do that, I just do want to say an extra special thank you to all my wonderful supporters over on Patreon. You guys are incredible. Thank you so much for the support through this trying COVID time. I think everybody's been having a rough one, and I wouldn't have been able to, you know, make ends meet without your love, kindness, generosity, and support. So if you would like to check me out on Patreon, link in the description. And if you don't want to do that, alternatively, you can head on over to Amazon. Again, links in the description, and check out one of my books. Got several available. I am working on a new book at the moment, a hybrid picking book. And again, when it comes to hybrid picking technique, Andrew Nieri just shits all over me. So yeah. Anyway, shall we take a look at some of his stuff? So we've got two videos. One where he's playing his Sir Telecaster, and one where he is playing his Sir Modern. I'm undecided on which one I want to do first. I think I'm leaning towards the Sir Modern. But I tell you, we're going to listen to both of them so you can really hear what he is all about. This is actually his latest video on YouTube. He also posted it on Facebook. So again, please do go and subscribe to him. Yeah, so Archie says he's actually never heard of him, which is surprising. Definitely interested in seeing this. Awesome, mate. So I'm going to play these two clips now, and we'll talk about them. I'm going to make a few comments, things for you to pay attention to while these are on, right? So the first thing that I think is worth considering with Andre's playing... Oh, sorry, it's just totally occurred to me that my screen has been resized for another streaming thing that I was doing. Let me just correct that for you. Oh, nearly there. There we go. So, yeah, the thing that's most impressive about Andre is because he is of Brazilian heritage, he is a wonderful traditional fingerstyle guitar player as well as a wonderful rock guitar player. And of course, through his playing experience, he has developed incredible dexterity with his picking hand fingers in a classical guitar style. And I respect the fact that he doesn't want to let go of that. So he does play with a pick, but he also drops the pick into his little finger here. I'll bring this up like this. He drops the pick in here and then uses his fingers to play shred fingerstyle stuff. And there's no one like him. Nobody does it like him. He is incredible at it. So let's take a look at this. First time hearing from me too. Never heard of him either. See, you guys are about to have your socks knocked off. That's the wrong video, isn't it? Sorry. This one. Okay, cool. No, like this. All right, let's take a listen to this. So this is just him jamming over a 251. It's you know, it's not the most musically trying thing. I mean, I guess I could head on over to YouTube and check out a few more of his clips for you. But yeah, let's check this out. Sounds like this. Keep an eye on his pick. Got his pick. It's gone. Where'd his pick go? Oh, it's back. Gone. Smash in your ears there. All right, so let's go for another one. I've just turned the volume down on that just a hair for you. Let's try this one for you. This one's a little bit more raucous. Now, the thing I love about his playing is it's the reckless abandon that he plays with. So the big slides and the bends. Although he has all of the precision that you would need and expect in the kind of modern rock fusion setting, all of the chops to die for, he's also got all of that wonderful phrasing stuff, the single string slides and the bends, and it just sounds glorious. So let's check out this, slightly different. Oh, nope, here. Go through the whole unaccompanied thing here. I will just put one more video on for you, because I've been reminded that it's very cool. He did a great video of him playing Dream
LinkedIn
Theaters
Sales
Another
Navigator
Day.
helps me build and maintain relationships.
Get the idea. Right, cool. So let's get on with some stuff. Yeah, we've got lots of people sold on his playing. He's an incredible player. He's just an incredible player. And as I say, for me, the most impressive thing is the fluid blend of using the pick and then also his more unique vocabulary that's much more tricky to execute with a pick where he's using the fingers. So really getting to grips between those two things, those two techniques, is difficult. And I'm not as much as enamored with his playing as I am, and I genuinely am. I don't want to learn to. I'm not going to reinvent the wheel, for myself and make my life difficult by learning to play fingerstyle after all of these years of being a pick player. That would be unreasonable. But I can learn a lot from his phrasing, from how he puts these lines together, from the arpeggio patterns that he plays. And that's what I'm looking to offer you today. So let's jump in and take a look at the fusion, the 2-5-1 progression. Let me pull that up with you in a secondo. Michael Thompson says, that's a fucking. You were so impressed, you didn't even finish your sentence, sir. Right, I am with you. Let's do this. Cool, let's crack on. So as I say, yeah, this is a 2-5-1. If you just listen to the playing, you can hear in the bass. If you listen to the bass, we've got there's a minor chord. It's a 5 chord resolving to the 1 chord. Which in this case it would be D minor, and then G7, or it's really a D flat 7 chord resolving to C major. So D minor 7. B flat 7, C major 7. Okay, so chord progression wise, jazz 251 type setting. But he's playing over it like a motherfucker. So let's take a look at, let's transcribe this. Subdivide the beat, of course. 4 beats per bar. I'm going to quantize the first beat. Yeah, Richie Kotzen. That's definitely a fair comment there. Some of the slides and bends and things, he kind of phrases things like that. Yeah, definitely good. So we're sitting on the C note, and then as the chord changes, that's super blues. What are we playing here? Let's take a look. So it's like a C minor pentatonic. And for studying things like this, it's totally valid to take some time thinking of what your possible substitutions and things are that you have available to you, the types of sounds that you are likely to hear over this. I would kind of expect like B flat minor pentatonic over a G7 altered chord, but that's cool, sliding down to the flat 5, but then immediately bending it up. Let's do it like this. Just realised he's Brazilian. I thought in my head. Solo trade-off for him and Kiko. Yeah. Yeah, sliding down. So we want to slide there. This is a tricky one to notate in the way I want it to look on the page. That's, I mean, interesting note choice here. He's playing C minor pentatonic over a C major chord. His phrasing, his timing is so loose as well. It's really floating over the beat, which makes it nightmarish to write down. And I don't want to spend too much time going into the minutiae of this. I want to get to some of the cool lines. He does it. He picks both notes. Rhythm. Yeah, we'll go triplet. C major pentatonic-y line, or C country scale, which is your major pentatonic with the flat 3 added. So back to the D minor. And we go 1, 2, and 3, and 1 E, and yeah. So the second 16th note of beat 2, we come in with da da da, na, na, na. Melodic minor. Oh, I like that line. Ba, da, ba, ba, da, da. Is it a slide up or a hammer up? Oh, it slides both ways. I'm quantizing here. No, was he playing there? Playing that pattern? Yeah, that's cool. I'm going to space this out a little bit more now. We'll have two bars per line. Taps root notes with his nose. Yeah. Now I love the classic trick this that you hear like in a jazz 251. No such thing as a jazz 251. In a 251, it's common if you want to do pentatonic substitutions over the 2 chord, you can play a minor pentatonic off the 5th, so that would be E minor pentatonic. You can then move that upper semitone to B flat minor pentatonic for the G7 chord, which gives you a super Locrian sound, and then you can move that upper semitone again to give you B minor pentatonic, and you play that over a C major chord and it gives you a C Lydian sound. And it sounds like that's what we've got going on here. Simple motif. Yeah, so that's what we've got going on. Bo. Cool line. Da 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 do. Ba da 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 do. Da 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 do. What a ferocious play. Oh. So he's taking that motif, ba ba da 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 da, and then repeats it an octave lower. But then the transition. Yeah, we'll go. Same motif. Oh. Play that, yeah? Ba da da. There we go. Ba da da. Cool line. Da da da. Ba da do. Oh, he does pick it. Ba da do. da 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 da. Ba, ba, da. Ba, da, da. I've been transcribing Brazilians all day. I'm doing Kiko's second album at the moment, Universo Inverso. It's something I'm really big on. Something I don't want to say care a lot about, but I will go with care a lot about it. So ultimately, it's not important, but I like a raw sound. You know, I'm into improvisation. I'm into that sound of someone who's just going for it. And when I listen to a lot of guitar playing that I hear on the scene nowadays, you know, I hear a lot of rehearsed stuff. I hear a lot of things that's been planned in a lot of detail. And it's a different mentality. You know, so it's a different mindset. And it's just not for me. You know, it doesn't. Things end up just being a little bit more ridiculous when things are done that way. You end up with these kind of hyper composed. It feels more prog than jazz. And when I listen to Andre play, there's that sense of jazz to what he's doing. He's going for it here. This bend. You know, he doesn't get all of it, and that's fine. You know, that's the rawness. Hello, dog. Oh no, don't bend and release. Oh, ba ba. Let's play that. Oh, that's weird. I wouldn't do that. Did he play that? He doesn't play that though. Okay, there's some trickery going on there. Ba ba boom. Ba. Hello, Dave. How's it going, buddy? Just reading a couple of comments on my latest video. I should transcribe from Greta Thunberg. It's Thunberg, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so at this point you can see the pick's gone, and I just want to draw attention to this, right? Let's look at his picking hand. Let's look at him execute the pick disappearance. You could put this man on Penn and Teller's Fool Us, and his sleight of hand is incredible. Fuck did he go? In the transition, in here, we slow this down. You can see if you watch his thumb, you can see it tuck all the way back to his little finger. That's where he's hiding that pick. all the way back there. It goes all the way back to place that pick in his little finger. It's incredible. It's an incredible technique that he pulls off there. And like, I'm not going to pat myself on the back for the way I hide a pick, because compared to this, it's nothing. But as silly as it seems, not credits. There we go. As silly as it seems, I've put a lot of time into getting used to when I'm playing with a pick like this. I drop the pick here like this, and going between that motion, I've spent a lot of time doing that, so I can do that in the middle of my lines, right? And I keep it here, but I can still use that finger when I still do rolls with that. So that skill of putting the pick there, like in and out of use. Let's do it from this way. So pick, then tuck, pick, and then tuck. For Andre to tuck it all the way back into his little finger, and then still maintain dexterity and control of this finger is extremely impressive. Extremely impressive. Gustavo Assis Persil. He was a patron of mine for a while. I got some of his books, some of his stuff. I've been meaning to do a review of some of his stuff. It's very difficult. Very difficult. Essentially what I'm doing is the same thing that guys like Greg Koch will do, right? Hiding the pick there. That's easy to do. And as silly as it seems, like I say, this is something that you do need to practice so you can do it on the fly and have the pick where you need it and then out of the way. That's easy for me to do because I've spent hours doing it. Andre's clearly spent hours and hours and hours on that sleight of hand to nail the move. And it's incredibly impressive. It really is. It's understated how impressive it is. You don't realise how impressive it is until you try and do it. Worth practicing doing that if you switch from plectrum to fingers often. Something I've worked on too, yeah. What? Yeah, it does become something you need to get good at if you like to play fingerstyle, and I do a lot of that when I play. Now we're going to get into the cool lines. Now this is all legato. And it does pick up the pace to a triplet there rather than it being a group of 5. Hearing the difference between those two things, let me... Hey Norbert, how's it going? Thank you for tuning in, mate. I hope you're well. Listening to... hearing the difference between a group of 5... versus a grouping of 5. Hippopotamus, 1 2 1 2 triplet, 1 2 triplet, 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3. Are they evenly spaced or not? Now I'm listening to it, I'm like, maybe they are a little bit more evenly spaced than I initially anticipated. Oh, does he... That's a tricky little way to do that. Oh, so that's a little bit sloppy, really. He's hitting like that. Yeah, there's like an 8th fret that he puts in there. Yeah. So we slide up. That's I don't like this at all. Just in terms of having to write this out, because you're needing to like. Okay, how do I put this? when you are learning, when you're studying someone's lines, when you're trying to transcribe what someone plays, you want to practice the conceptual idea. So more often than not, when Andrea would be practicing something like this, the idea would be a stream of evenly spaced 16th notes, right? Groupings of 6, groupings of 4, etc. And then when you play them at speed in context, sometimes things get a little bit more rough around the edges. Now, there is no benefit to you practicing those rough around the edges things. So you're trying to, in a context like this, maybe reduce it down a little bit, reduce it back, so you can process it from the perspective of, well, what's the genesis of the line here? When I'm doing something like this, I'm not interested in transcribing the all the details of exactly how it happened to be played. I'm trying to transcribe it from the genesis perspective. Where did this line come from? How can we steal this line? How can we practice this line? What is the pattern that is being played? So with that in mind, so I would go ba da da da. Like, to me, that's the genesis of the line. That's the thing you would practice. Because then we move on, we change position. Ba da 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 da, ba da 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 da. So roll. Ba da 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 da. Oh. And like I say, the goal here is to pick out the line. And my way of doing this is always I sing, right? I sing the line. So I can see my what's this? Ba da 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 da. Ba da 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 da. So you can hear very clearly here. Da 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 da, and then the line changes to fours, right? Ba da da da, ba da 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 da, ba da 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 da, ba da 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 da. So that's what we're looking for. Ba da 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 da. So we can get that, right? Ba ba da da da. Now position-wise. Oh, he shifts there. So ba da 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 da, which makes a lot of sense. Now we're getting into like the real nerdy side of the transcription for your own personal benefit of learning that I kind of have already mentioned. This is the, how it has been played. I don't like the way this ends up looking because it's very easy to take something like this and then practice it to a metronome. Triple, 1 2 3 4 1 2 3 4. Ba 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 takita takita takadimi takadimi ta. And it's the idea isn't really that. These are patterns that he's familiar with, and he's just playing them at speed. So I would, in all honesty, I wouldn't, if this was for a book, I wouldn't do this. But for my own personal learning, I would rather see this like this. With the two groups of 7, because that's balanced, right? Looks nicer on the page. And I probably will, for my own private collection, change it to that afterwards. Da, da, da. Chromatic note. Ba, da, da. Ba, da, da. Ba, da, da. Ba, da, da. Ya, da, 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 da. And again, that's definitely a group of 6, right? So that adds more credence to the idea of we wouldn't want to practice takita, takita, takadimi, takadimi, takita, takita. The group of 7 just works better on the page. It looks better on the page. Da 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 da. Just put an emphasis on this, the way we learn this stuff, the way we transcribe this stuff. Sing it, sing everything. And then when you're using your instrument to find the notes, you've got a much clearer idea of what it is that you're looking for. Ba-da-da-da-da-da, ba-da-da. Da. Is that how he plays that? So it's a hammer and then a slide. Oh. Playing it like that. So yeah, I'm going to quantize that. Because I don't like the way that looks with the 6s there, so I'm going to rather make these 2 7s. This ends up looking a little bit better on the page. I'm just, from my own from my own playing perspective, I'm looking at this, I'm like, okay, is my articulation right? Could I pull that off? Yeah, I don't take issue with any of that. That is a slide though. And then we get that. Now that I would comfortably do that with. That's a group of 4. Girlfriend from Ipanema, the way he retrieves his pick is like a drum, speaking his drumstick. I've not checked that out, Ted, and I absolutely should, because I often, in fact, I remember being on a bus with Andre in London, and we were talking about his pick technique and how he moved that there, and I made a joke and said you should work on that, and you should, like stick tricks. You should have pick tricks. Andre Nieri's pick tricks. You could flick it into the position in the air and catch it there and impress your audience. It seemed funny at the time, but evidently it's something that he does. It's like a blues curl on that. Ba-da-da-da. So there's our slippery fusion shred line. Let's hear it in context. I should get the tempo for this, sorry, because it's not 120, is it? Markers, compute tempo. It is about 100. So if we hear that line in context. Yeah, so I like that. I think that's a slick lick. I don't think as far as his technique goes, that's a particularly impressive one. You'd hear these lines in. To me, that's like a very Brett Garced legato line. It's not too tricky in terms of the arpeggio lines that he plays. So let's keep going. We'll come across some crazy arpeggios. Ba da 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 da. Ba da 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 da. Da 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 da. Sorry guys, just need to send a message. To a friend of mine. Thank you, Norbert, for sharing the stream. Very much appreciated. Where is my buddy? There he is. I'm gonna break that beaming a little bit there. That's a cool line. Classic Super Locrian. Does he slide both? As a hammer. No. Oh. What's he play that line? Does he play that there? That's wild. He does. What? That's quite a weird little fingering pattern to play, but that's a really cool Super Locrian. Oh, we gone. Oh, what have we got here? That's a better example of what you can do with the fingerstyle thing. He's so good. Oh, it's quite an awkward little way of getting down there. That's a really awkward little movement. I like it. Let's also look at where he drops the pick. The slick little... Oh, I lost it. Sorry. Yeah, he kind of slides into that, but I'm not putting it in there. No, I will, because it fits within the articulation line. It doesn't seem out of place for it to be there. It's not by design, I don't think, but it works. Love these little kind of pentatonic arpeggios, I would think of these as being. Oh no. Plays that there. Oh, no. That's cool. Oh, 10. Now we're looking for like a smart way of keeping this on the page and making it look sensible. Sorry. Yeah. Ba da ba ba da. So this is 5 notes here. I want to just make this a group of 5 rather than it being a group of 2 and a group of 3. Again, just from the sake of practice. Ba da da da. Doesn't play that there. Da. Does he play it there? Was he play that? Plays that. Now with that, I can then go back to having these be in a line of 6. Whoops. There we go. Cool. Oh, no, it's not slow. It's how it was hammer on. Oh, great little line. Let's have a listen to this one. So it sounds like this. That's cool. Just the way that line fits together, the intervals between notes. It's much cooler than just running 3-note string pentatonic patterns up and down. You know what I mean? So there's the basic line here, I think. So it's a 7-note motif, right? Ba da 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 ba da 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 ba da 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 ba da 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 da. 7-note motif. So I'm not worried about the slight intricacies of how it's being played, but I'm gonna just put it like this. Oh, Richard, how's it going, buddy? Hope you're well. And that'll be what he's doing there, right? Yeah. So it's definitely a very clever little pentatonic sequence. And the fingering just necessitates that climb up the neck, which is kind of cool. Not kind of cool, it's extremely cool. Hope everybody is having a good Friday night. I didn't say at the start of the stream. Sorry, everybody. Normally I do these on a Saturday night, but it's my girlfriend's birthday on Sunday, so I have to go and pick her up to bring her over to my house tomorrow evening, and she'll be here with her with a friend of hers. So I won't be. Not that you needed the details, of course, but I'll be off limits tomorrow night. I won't be able to do the normal thing. Hello, Michael. Oh, he doesn't play that there. He does, he comes down to the D instead. And then we shift up to like an altered line. That's what we play there. So we are definitely shifting up a gear to the 30-second notes there. Ba-da-da. Ba-da-da. I'm checking his finger to see where he's making the moves here. Again, it's really hard to we can see. So I just get the line. Fuck's sake. So, notes-wise... Play that there. Hello, Dominic. How's it going? Andrew Clark, possibly the best League player I can think of these days. Can't wait for what actual releases of. Yeah, I agree with you. At the start of the stream, I went on this big rant, not rant, but you know, letting everybody know just how underrated I think Andre is, and saying that while I think he's unbelievably underrated, that doesn't matter to him and that doesn't matter to his career. But it's a shame for you guys, because there's so many guys at the start of the stream. We had a bunch of guys saying, "Yeah, I've never heard of him," and that's a shame. That's a shame. You know, more people should go check him out. So he won't be playing that there. It'll be there. This is a weird one. I can't, for the life of me, kind of piece together how this would be fingered, even with the video, because he's playing so many notes and the angle's quite funny. So here you can see that 13, what was it, 13, 16, 15, 13, that arpeggio that moves up. You can see his little finger coming in. That's the hammer on the 18th fret here. He then hits the 15, but it doesn't look like he comes back here. I don't think he does. But then that would mean we would be going like, and that's not. Okay. Hammer onto 21. That works. That makes a little bit more sense. Not crazy on the 18 there, but and then yeah, it's the same idea. We then hammer like that. That's the line. Now, of course, timing-wise, it just kind of floats a little bit. Now, if we were to make this all sevens, I mean, this doesn't fit on the page to do it this way, but I'm just doing it. Yeah. Okay, so there's certainly enough there that we could learn about his Urban Chaos. Are you affiliated to Andre in some way? Cries in French. Right, let's take a listen to that run. We'll go from here. Yeah, you get the idea. That should be a pull off there. Works. Should we try and play along with Andre? Let's see how bad our rhythms are. They'll be a little bit off because I'm definitely quantizing a fair old amount on this. I need to change the tempo to 98 BPM, not to 100. So let's go back to the start of the transcription. We'll put it here. Put my timers on this, and we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4. I am definitely really happy of how that's come out there. The thing I could, if I made this a 6 and then made this a group of 8, it would play along with what he does better. But I'm okay with it looking like this. I didn't see Manuel's new video. A little sick spot in my stomach about Manuel, to be honest. Only because you never know, when you make a YouTube video, you never know which videos are going to be ones that people watch and ones that people share. And when I made my Manuel video, I didn't intend that to be popular, and it's like my 3rd most popular video. It still gets a ton of views, which I'm not crazy on. So Richard says he signed up for his finger picking challenge run this winter. Pretty amazing getting that technique literally under your fingers. Yeah, unless you're Max Ostro. Max participated. Wow. Yeah. My transcribing is pretty savage, Dominic. So no, my luck are, my next big YouTube video hit is going to be one where I'm bagging on Periphery, which I want these ones to be more popular. I think these are much better. Okay, let's carry on. So we are at bar 20. Let's get this done. Because there's only 27 bars. Yeah, so we're basically there with it. So we might as well finish it. 20. That's I think of this as being like the Matthias Eklund sweep. Are you alright, Michael? You've not been yourself today, buddy. Probably eating something you shouldn't have, as usual. I know, right? Baspli. B-A, I don't know how to pronounce your name, sorry. My accuracy is pretty insane. I should do this for a living, right? Da, 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 da. Ba, da, da, da. That's a slide. This is a weird line. Why am I doing this to myself? Have sympathy for me. Let me play that one more time just so you can see what it is I'm about to transcribe here. Have sympathy for me. Share my streams. Have sympathy. Sorry, my Facebook's going. So ba da 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 da. Do you usually go and learn these transcriptions on guitar? No, I very rarely learn anything that I transcribe. I'm not here to learn to play things. I'm here to improve my hearing, and because when I understand a line, I'm singing these lines as I'm playing them. I'm looking to pick up vocabulary. In the same way that when you spend time around a friend who uses certain turns of phrase all of the time. Like if you spend too much time with Rob Chapman, you'll start describing things as size. You don't go home and practice saying size in front of the mirror. You're looking to observe how the vocabulary is used in a real life context. So you hear Chapman saying that was so size. And then eventually you feel confident enough, you hear that phrase in your mind when you associate it with something and you use the terminology. So in this particular instance, I'm looking to hear these particular melodic lines and they will become part of my practice routine rather than practicing the specific solo. Ba-do-da-da-da-da. So there's really a note missing from that, isn't there? So we should be pulling off there, so I am going to put that in. You can see him doing it, it just doesn't really sound. You know what? I'm not. Oh, I can't decide. Also, there's no point me trying to learn to play this because I can't play this. Also, if I learned everything that I transcribed, I'd be busy for my entire life. Andre just sent me a message. Let's see if we can get Andre to pop in. Okay, right. So Andre just messaged me and said his course in English is closed, but he'll ask my team to reopen it for a limited time so you can promote it to my audience. How's that sound? So let me just check this link for you guys. Okay, fantastic. Yeah. So finger revolution. Here you go, guys. Andre's just hooked us up with this special deal just for you guys. Link in the comments now. Head on over to that link. You can check out Andre's Finger Revolution. Go between pick and fingers to unlock the phrasing in the most modern and unique way. And as I say, and as you've seen just from the playing in this, his playing is second to none. And being able to get some of this stuff together, some of this stuff under your fingers, would be a huge benefit to you. Huge benefit. So yeah, please do check out that link. And yeah, Russell asked, "Do I like butterscotch tellies?" Ha ha. My baby butterscotch is never far away. Who would like to hear the transcription again? Because a few people are showing in, turning up. So just for my own sanity, let's do this. Because if Andre's here, you might as well hear the insanity. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, I've got it on slow speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop telling me Andre Nieri won Guitar Idol in 2014. I know. I was there. I ran the damn competition. Is it? I think it was 2015, actually. It was the 2014 competition, but it was sort of the competition happened in 2015. Okay, where's my controller? Let's finish this line. Let's do it. We can do this solo. Technically it's in one key, so it's not really a song, is it? He's jamming over a 2-5-1 chord progression. If I grab my guitar. Sorry, son. Calm down. He's jamming over a 2-5-1 in C, so D minor. G7 or G7 altered. But in terms of, thinking it is one key, but the phrases that he plays over them will move, not necessarily, you wouldn't really say out of key, but he's playing G7 altered. So over G7 altered, we're not just going to play the notes of a C major scale. We're going to play more. So you might play something that's in D minor, and then you know what I mean. So the phrasing is, it is in one key, yeah, but getting this stuff down is about playing the chords. So yeah. And as I say, I'll post it again, actually. Here's a link to Andre's course if you would like to go and check it out. Highly encourage you to do so. As I said at the start of the stream, I think he is the best, most exciting guitar player on the scene right now. You have to go and check him out. There is no better. There just simply is no better. He plays like a human, and that I think is so valuable in this day and age where there's a world of fakery out there. Let me ask some of these questions. How long have you been transcribing for, mate? So impressive, nailed every motif in the video. I have been transcribing every single day of my life for probably about 13 years now. Every single day I transcribe. And when I started out, I was filling as much time as possible doing it. So maybe I could get an hour in, 2 hours in a day. And now I do it obviously professionally. I'm transcribing. I'm doing Kiko Loureira's album at the moment, which is a shit ton of fun. I've got to do Gus G's album. I've got a Martin Taylor project on the go. Lots of things happening. Some Mark Lettieri stuff. Got to do some Guthrie Govan stuff soon. So I'm sitting now at my computer for 8 hours a day, every single day, transcribing. So, you get good at it. No one wants to hear me play, mate. That's the one thing that I've sort of come to terms with, especially in the last couple of months. What people want and where my skills are best placed. People don't want to see me play, and that's okay. That doesn't upset me. I play the guitar for fun. I still pick up the guitar and I enjoy, and my ears are getting so good from all the transcribing that there's a freedom to my playing now where I don't really think about the things that I play. The Exosphere tab. Was that a Kiko tune? Oh no, of course that's the Gus G thing. Yeah. Yeah, I just did that. Does he play that there? The D. Yeah. Ba da 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 da. If people would watch me transcribe for 2 hours, they watch you play for 2 minutes. Well, you know, my YouTube views. You know what I will say is you are absolutely right. If people will watch me play for 2 hours, they probably will watch me play for 2 minutes. But nobody actually really, in the grand scheme of things, watches me transcribe, and just as many people watch me play. Ba da da da. Okay, fastly done. Yeah, I've got 26 viewers that would. In theory, I've got like 100, 200, usually sitting about 200 patrons. You would think they would, but... So we're definitely shifting into 16th note, 32nd note vocabulary for this. Oh, so we slippery. No. I can't write. Nope. Is that the right place? Now, so these legato runs, they tend to float over the beat. It's really a grouping of 9. Ah! Ba da da da. Ba da da da. So that's not on the buttons don't work. So again, grouping of 9. No, William. Why would I need one? Why would I need it? Ah, buttons. Yeah. da 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 da. Da da na 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 na. Ba da 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 da. Picking. Yeah, it's I picks the first three and then hammers the second three. We're never going to get 2 lines on here, so I'm going to have 2 bars on there. More importantly, I tend to when I am doing transcription stuff like that. How do I put this? It would be easy for people to look at the stuff that I transcribe and to say, well, you're doing this in order to bring people towards your channel. And if that were the case, there are much more popular people I could be sat here transcribing right now that would actually bring people to the channel. This stream started out with a bunch of people saying they'd never heard of Andrea Nieri. I started for 15 minutes at the start of this stream trying to promote Andrea Nieri and say, please do go and check him out because he's incredible. I'm transcribing this because I want more people to be aware of Andre's stuff. Now, obviously, that's half of the reason I do these streams. Another reason that I do these streams, of course, is I do want to legitimately encourage you all to transcribe. I don't have the energy for the rest of my life to transcribe day in, day out. I would love it if I could put myself out of a job because all of you guys were so good at transcribing. You could do all of this stuff yourself. It is all achievable, and this is like obviously a very complicated transcription, but I'm trying to break it down for you in a way so you can see that this stuff is achievable. Because certainly before I was a professional transcriber, before I even really started transcribing, it was a mystical art to me. I looked in and it was like, how do guys do that? And I know that there's a lot of guys out there, probably not a lot of you guys because you've all seen me doing this so much, right? But there's probably a lot of guys out there that see my transcription work and go, oh, wow, that must be like impossible to do. You must be really gifted to get stuff like that down. And I don't really think of things like that. It's like, sure, it's hard, but you can also be really, really methodical about it in order to develop these skills. So the channel is trying to pass on these skills to people more so than anything. Now we go, sing it. Da 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 da. What am I doing? It's not a tuplet at all. And as your ears get better, you hear this. I know that. Ba da da da, ba da da da. It's a major 7 arpeggio. That's ridiculous. Ba da da da. Would I clap? No, Brent Mason, not really. No, shredder, definitely not. Jumps up. Just that's an absolute fucker to pull off. Bravo, Andre. What advice would you give to a guitarist who's been playing for years, knows pentatonics, plays straightforward rock solos, but wants to break out of the box? Any books or CDs to listen to? So the first thing I would recommend that you check out is my soloing school videos that I've put on YouTube. They all seek to put a bit more emphasis on harmony, on chords. If you look at a chord progression and you go, what box pattern can I put over this? What one scale fits over all of this? You're only ever going to play one scale, right? Whereas The chords tell you what to play. And if we can learn to play those chords, if we can learn to spell out those chords, those harmonies, spell out the harmony of a piece, then that will dictate to you what you're likely to play over something. So check out my solo in school videos. They'll be really useful to you. But in terms of like playing over changes, like I don't rate the book myself, but Barrett Tagliarino has a Musicians Institute book, and the reason I don't rate it is I feel it's a little bit basic. But if you're completely new to the concept, his Musicians Institute book, Chord Tone Soloing, will start to put you in that mindset where you think about these things. In terms of like recommending products, because of course I've got to plug my stuff, right? My country guitar soloing techniques books, all of my country stuff. The reason I fell in love with country music is, well, I transcribe so much Brent Mason. What you find when you listen to a play like Brent or Albert Lee is that those guys are playing the harmony, they're playing the chords, and all country guys do that. That's the difference between a country guy and like a rock guy. A rock guy finds a pentatonic pattern that will fit over everything, whereas a country guy plays the chords that he's playing over. It's a bit more of a kind of jazz mentality, if that makes sense. So yeah, like learning a little bit of country and a little bit of jazz helps the mindset change, because you've got to change the way you think about things if you want to be able to do the things you're talking about there. So we go back to the room. Oh no, we don't. We slide up chromatically. Look at him. That's the definition of up at the dusty end there. The 22nd fret on the A string. That string doesn't see all that much action. And to be pulling that off with the guitar on the right leg, obviously I'm impressed. I've been impressed for this whole damn thing. So again, just try your ears on this, right? When we hear this phrase, we can hear this melody. Ba ba da 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 ba da da ba da da da. We're looking. Ba da ba da ba da da da. That's what we need to write out. So because I can. I don't think he's playing that there. He wouldn't play that there. It doesn't make sense to do that there. Let's really look at what he's doing. Yeah, so we wouldn't play 17 there. We would go back to 22. I'm going to make that a 5 rather than a group of 9. You get the tap on the top there. Are you very welcome, Hollywood actress? I'd also say another tip for that, like, surround yourself with musicians who are better than you. Like, let's go on a bit of a rant. Let's do a rant. We like a rant, don't we? So, obviously, I've just put up this Periphery video, and that's annoyed a bunch of Periphery fans where I'm criticising Periphery. And it's really annoyed a bunch of Periphery fans. And one guy said something to me along the lines of, it was on Facebook. He said something along the lines of, he criticised me, and then he said, why don't you just go back to making some tabs or something? And that made me laugh because in response, I kind of want to say, well, why don't you go back to doing whatever it is that you do? I don't know what you do. Nobody knows what you do. But I'm very aware of the fact that you know what I do. There's a lot of people that don't think that I should have a career, you know, and that I shouldn't make a living. I'm very good at what I do, so I should. I provide value to people. It annoys people that I know all of these people. I know, you know, we had Andre pop in and we got a discount code on something for you guys, exclusive for you guys, because I know Andre. I know all of these people. And the reason I know all of these people is not because, you know, we've met on the gigging scene, like I wasn't supporting their bands or anything, but it's because I go out of my way to surround myself with people who are better players than me. And I listen to them. Never once have I sat down with Andre Nieri and tried to teach him something, tried to tell him something, you know. But I've absolutely listened to him. One of my closest friends in the world is Martin Miller. I've been like, you know, I don't want to say inseparable, but talk all the time with Martin, all the fucking time. And we've been close for 10 years now, over 10 years. And, you know, what better person to surround yourself with, to spend time around, to be able to talk about music with. So what I'm saying to you is, like, you might not have great musicians local to where you are, but you have the internet, okay? So you can find communities and you can get involved and surround yourself with players who are better than you. Going back to, I think it was Dominic that said, more videos of my playing would be appreciated. When you are like me and you surround yourself with some of the best players in the world, you are inevitably going to have no interest in showcasing your own playing. I just have no interest in showcasing my own playing because I don't, to be honest, I play because I love music. I'm not interested in showing off and showing you what I can do in terms of my playing. It just doesn't matter to me. None of those things are really important, you know. But what is important is loving music. And again, I'm just surrounding myself with better musicians because it makes me a better player. So go out there, surround yourself with better players. There's always a better player, you know. For a lot of you guys that are watching this stream now, I'll be one of those better players that you surround yourself with. Find good people, find people that will treat you like a human being, like I'm talking to you all now. You ask me questions, I'm more than happy to engage. If anybody messages me on Facebook or gets involved in groups or patrons, anything like that, like, I'm always happy to talk music with people and share ideas and things like that. So surround yourself with better musicians and listen to them. Pay attention to what they do. Try and get in their mindset. Think about what they're doing. Learn from them. Much cheaper than lessons. I don't talk to a lot of players in person, but yeah, talk to players online every day. Yeah, best way to do it, Dominic. What topic do you think you will write about for my next book? Country guitar book covers so much territory. Never read a book like it. Thank you very much, Russell. My next book is actually finished. My next book is finished. It's a hybrid picking Bible. We've not decided on the title, but it's hybrid picking. It's, I don't want to say the most comprehensive hybrid picking manual that you will find, but it's ridiculously comprehensive. There are better products out there if you're an advanced hybrid. Like if you've really got finger hybrid picking and finger style technique down, you check out Andre Nieri's stuff. You check out Gustavo Assis Brasil's stuff. His stuff is excellent. You know, Martin Miller has a great hybrid picking course on Jam Track Central. That's not really what I'm pitching at. I'm pitching at somebody that's never really learned the technique and then taking it from complete basics, introducing one finger to two fingers, single string, multiple strings, harmonic ideas, rolls, three fingers, using them for chords and harmony and things and rolls and things. Is really comprehensive, and there's a special treat at the end of the book. So yeah, play anything with Connor and you're going to be demolished. Connor's actually a really wonderful example because like I've never met Connor in person, but I know exactly who you're talking about, right? And it's because this community, this online community that we all play a part of, it's about getting to know each other, and it's about paying attention to who's out there and listening to stuff that they play and then the things they have to say. And surround yourself with better players. Yeah, so I'll keep going because we're nearly there. So Nope. Yeah. I don't like the idea of saying that you would re-pick that, but it is. I'm going to put it as a slur, as a tie. As a motif, as a cell, as the way I would describe it with my students. That's the cell. Group of 5 we'll go for here. We're going for yeah. Yeah, we'll go like that. Okay. Think that's us. Does it end here? Hey, I really don't want to do these last 2 bars. Last three bars. I'm never doing the other transcription now. It's just not happening. So, I've still not eaten. I forgot to eat lunch and dinner. I mean, I'm hardly wasting away. Nope, get that off. Oh, thank you very much, Costanzi, for your generosity. It's very much appreciated. Just watch the Periphery video. Even though I'm a huge fan of those guys, I really appreciate that you give your honest opinions on stuff like that. Yeah. As I said in my on my Facebook post, like I'm a fan too. If you look at I did a listening party video of Melissa, my girlfriend, just recently, and it was Periphery because I know the stuff. I know it inside out. I am absolutely a fan, and I think the problem with stuff like that is people end up, they're just too arrogant to do anything about it. So fingers crossed they walk it back. Because the thing I said on Facebook to someone is the shirt as a concept doesn't even work because the PlayStation logo is a P and an S. There's no S in Periphery. The P obviously works because of P for Periphery. So why not just use the P from the PlayStation logo? Everybody, you know what it is. If I saw that PlayStation P on a shirt, I would know, oh, yeah, I see what you've done there, the PlayStation logo. But they wouldn't do that, of course, because people wouldn't buy that. So it's almost like by acknowledging that you wouldn't do that, you're acknowledging that the value on that is very much in the logo, in the trademarked logo that you don't own. Oh. Oh, it is. It's 14. I'm going to be super lazy with this because I really want this to end. I don't like the way that looks though, so I'm just going to neaten that up with a grace note. There we go. And then we're almost there. And we'll go check out how this sounds together. I'll get a transcription video of this up tomorrow. I want to give Andre props for this as well, because you don't see this a lot in the I've not even got a name for it. Let's go for the pre-recorded improvised solo. Sorry, the pre-written improvised solos that you see, the fusion improvisation stuff. Everything is so meticulously planned out. This isn't. This is true improvisation, and there's something really fucking rock and roll. I think the coolest thing about Malmsteen is when he changes pickups while he's playing, and Andre does that here. He changes pickups on this bend. That's a nice touch. He cares about tone. I'm gonna have to quantize this. Fine with modified logo. Delivery for choice. Thank you very much. I appreciate this. Well, I won't say that someone agrees with me, but evidently lots of people do agree with me. It's a shame because when you look at Periphery's web store, they have a bunch of like really quite cool parody T-shirts. They've got a Final Fantasy parody shirt, and that's cool. Like that's cool. I can see the appeal of something like that. Would I buy something like that? I probably wouldn't order something like that from a web store, but if I went to see them, and I absolutely, as soon as they're in town, I'll go and see them because I love them. I think they're a great band. If they had something like that on a merch stand, I'd absolutely buy that because it's cool. A Final Fantasy inspired Periphery shirt is kind of cool. But this just doesn't look cool to me. This looks like you're just trading off of someone else's literal trademarks. It's not good. And I don't care how many Periphery stands come after me. Because as I said, they would be the first one to lose their minds if I released the shirt with their logo on it. Or any of the companies out there that exist that sell illegitimate merchandise with trademarks on they don't own. Is that us? Huh. You know, just to take the piss, I'm literally not going to transcribe those last notes because I don't have to. I'm the boss. I do what I want. Right, let's take a listen to it. Pretty confident with how this has turned out. I think it should sound good, should look good, should sound good. And after this, I'm going to go. Now, I'll probably do another live stream at some point over the coming month where I do some more of Andre's stuff because his playing is incredible, and the more people are made aware of it, the better. So I'm not even going to, you know what, guys, I'm not even going to tell you to share my video because you're not going to anyway. But go on YouTube, check out some of Andre's videos. If you find something that you think is cool, and I guarantee you will, share it. Tell people about his playing because he's just such a great player, and I think more people should be aware of it. So it's going to in fact, let me save it. This is going to go in my Patreon folder. Where is my Patreon folder? Be with the P's, wouldn't it? That would make sense. Okay, cool. Andre 251. So I'll put this up for my patrons to download. It sounds like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. really happy with how that's come out. I think it sounds great. Any questions about this or anything else you would like to ask me while I am here, Richard? Sign up for Patreon to follow the guitar hour, lads. I'll become a bearded transcriber patron as well. Yeah, do it. Speaking of which, thank you to all of my wonderful supporters over on Patreon. I could not do this without your love, kindness, and support. So if you would like to check me out on Patreon, you can get private lessons with me. You can join my monthly study club streams. I've not done one of those in a while. I need to pull my finger out and do one of those. Divorce kind of got in the way of that. But those are usually a lot of fun when I do those. Get your name in the credits. You can download lesson transcriptions and things, the stuff like that. Get access to my private Patreon only Facebook group, and of course you are helping keep the lights on in my little studio, which is always appreciated. If you don't want to join me on Patreon, which is totally understandable, you can also check out one of my books. I have several available. Those are some of them. I have more. Again, links in the description. Check them out on Amazon. That is a great way to support the channel. Any questions that you would like to ask before I leave, please do let me know now. Speak now, speak, or forever hold your peace. Oh yeah, Melissa's birthday on Sunday, yeah. Wasn't so consistently broke. Sign up for the $50 a month thing. Don't do the 10. Dude, sign up for $1 on Patreon. Every little helps, and it would be great to have you as a part of the community. You can, if you're thinking of struggling to join at $10, join up for $1, and you over a 10-month period you'll contribute the same amount. And it's great having people in the Facebook group. It's great having people to hang out with on Discord. It's great getting to know people a little bit better. So yeah. Any other questions? Anything else? Anybody else would like to say? $5. Tab downloads on Patreon are $5. What the basic idea of Patreon is like $1. $1 is just like a thank you thing, whereas $5 gets you access to all of the downloads that I put up on Patreon, and it'll get you access to all of the downloads that I've ever uploaded. So like 200 things to download, or so. Definitely, probably more than that. Yeah. So, right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It really does mean a lot. I've had a lot of fun doing this, and it's kicked my ass in places, but I'm really happy with how it's turned out. I'll get a transcription video up of this so other people can take a look at it and learn it. Please do go and check out Andre's Finger Guitar Revolution. Let me grab a link for it one more time for you. I will post. Oh, Rich has joined up on Patreon. Thank you very much, sir. Where is it? I lost it. Oh, there we go. Got it. So, grab yourself a deal. This is 50% off for you guys. Okay, guys? As always, like, comment, share, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your enemies, all that good stuff, and I will see you fuckers next time. Much love. Goodbye.